The concept of pure evil is something that human beings will always have a hard time grasping, but fiction has allowed us to create our closest visualizations of this abstract concept. Many villains have competed for the title of the most evil character in all of fiction. However, there is one foul creature that stands above the rest, one who is so heinous that people worldwide have worked together to kill them as quickly as possible. And that foul creature is Slippy Toad. Star Fox 64 is one of the most fondly remembered games on the Nintendo 64 console, and the most recognizable game in the Star Fox franchise. But while the game is of such high quality that many still come back to it decades later, it unfortunately has one amphibian-shaped blemish.
But you could hide from me, eh?
Weighing in at 63.50 SK and standing at 1.67 SM, Slippy Toad is the Lila system's biggest threat. Casual gamers know him as the guy who had an annoying voice and had to be saved often, but hardcore Star Fox fans know that he is responsible for some truly unspeakable evils. He is the reincarnation of Vlad the Impaler, he is in the Epstein flight logs, and he specifically went back in time to burn down the Library of Alexandria. Some even say that Slippy was never programmed into the game, and is instead a being of pure evil that is trying to wreak havoc on this world from another dimension. While Slippy's pure evil seems unbeatable, there is one small crumb of hope. There are several occasions in Star Fox 64 where Slippy can be killed. Many gamers have used this weakness to kill Slippy when the opportunity presents itself, but one man led the crusade to defeat history's greatest monster for good. This man is Potao, a prolific Star Fox speedrunner and a speedrun moderator for the Star Fox franchise. On April 15, 2015, Potao created a new speedrunning category for Star Fox 64 called Kill Slippy%. In this category, players would go through the game's first level and shoot at Slippy until he has died. This category is what many speedrunners would call a meme run, a type of speedrun that only the most intellectual of runners are capable of performing. And Potao only had the most noble intentions for creating this category. They did it as a joke. Potao submitted the first run in this category and got a time of 21.52 seconds. However, the run relied on suboptimal strategies and was more of a proof of concept than anything else. Throughout the run, Potao shot at enemies when the optimal strategy was instead to boost past them, and he had thus wasted time. But this only inspired many others to follow in Potao's footsteps. The first of these followers was another notable speedrunner by the handle of Lilat who submitted their own run on May 22, 2015. They managed to get a 20.28 time, although no video footage exists because the YouTube account the run was hosted on has since been terminated. A mysterious figure known only as Chef Beef Wellington would then follow in Lilat footsteps. On July 30th, 2015, they used the boost mechanic to zoom past the level's enemies and obtain a 14.69 time. This run was 5 seconds faster than Lilat's run and allowed Chef Beef Wellington to obtain the world record. However, Lilat was not willing to go down without a fight. He would use the Kill Slippy run as a donation incentive for his Twitch viewers, and on April 19, 2016, he would get a 14.53 time and beat out Chef Beef Wellington by a single second. But this was not enough for Lilat as he was determined to get a time in the 13-second range. And on April 28, 2016, he succeeded in this endeavor with a time of 13.73 seconds. 4 months later, Lilat and another runner would repeatedly make one-frame improvements and battle each other for the world record. This war would end with Lilat reaching a 13.43 second time and coming out on top. Upon achieving the world record, Lilat announced that the first person to make it within the 12-second time range would get a $10 prize. Several people would try to claim this prize but to no avail, as shown by a screen cap of a now deleted leaderboard category. On Christmas Eve, Lilat would attempt to get the record himself by doing a double half Centauri run and killing Slippy 100 times. Sometime later, on April 8, 2017, Lilat would check the double half Centaurian and find out that while he beat his own record several times, he was not able to get under 10 seconds. It truly seemed like Lilat's $10 would go unclaimed forever, but just 3 days later, that would be proven false. On April 11, 2017, a user with the handle Skeletal Remains had beaten Lilat with what he believed to be a 13.03 run. However, a second look from Lilat revealed that the run was actually a 12.90, meaning that Skeletal Remains had successfully claimed the prize. Both Skeletal and Lilat were good sports, as the former initially refused the $10 and the latter paid him the $10 anyway. And the very next day, Skeletal Remains would publish another run that was a couple frame faster, but that didn't mean that Lilat was willing to give up. Lilat would continue to do Kill Slippy runs as donation incentives, and on April 15, 2017, he managed to get a 12.97 time. While this new personal best didn't translate into a new world record, it served as a signal for improvements to come. Pew, 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 pew! I love making videos about stuff that hasn't been archived! Pew, pew, pew! On July 7, 2018, Lilat had gotten a 12.63 time and had beaten Skeletal's record by 0.27 seconds. This improvement in the record was so big that it made Lilat believe that the category was dead. 2 months later, Lilat would beat the world record with a 12.60, and that's where the record stands today. Unfortunately, it seems like Lilat's prediction was true. While some threw their hat in the ring and tried to beat Lilat, nobody succeeded. Due to the combination of Star Fox 64's on-rails gameplay and the low standard deviation that comes with a shorter run, it is very unlikely that any improvements will ever be made. Even more damning is the fact that the joke got old at that point, as after Lilat got the 12.63 time, Hotel himself said that the joke was played out. This generally explains why no progress has since been made in the category. Nobody would want to train ridiculously hard for a joke run that isn't even that funny anymore. But who knows? Maybe someone out there would be willing to prove me wrong. And until then, thanks for watching.